Hey guys,
Happy Wednesday.
welcome back to Devotions with Emma and Sammy. We're so excited that you're here today. Today we are going to talk about heavy loads and yokes. So we're going to figure out what those are and what that means for us. But first, we're going to go over to Emma for our main idea and verse.
Yes, so our main idea today is God lightens the load, and our verse is from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. That's our verse. Over to you, Sammy.
Yes, thank you, Emma. So we are going to start today with two questions. First, have you ever worn really tight shoes? You thought they would fit, they actually didn't, and your toes are all scrunched, and you feel like it's tight on the top of your foot, and it's so uncomfortable, and you can't think of anything else because it's the worst. Think about that. Our second question is, have you ever carried a really heavy backpack? So maybe it's full of a lot of books, maybe it's full of rocks, maybe it's full of anything really heavy, and you feel it in your shoulders, you feel it in your back, you feel it in your neck, and maybe if your neck hurts, then your head hurts, and it's just no good. No good. So throughout our lesson today, I want you to be thinking of tight shoes and heavy backpacks. So while you're thinking of that, I want you to think back to when we learned about the 10 Commandments. So if you remember, these are the commandments given to Moses, to the people, that were the list of things that they should follow to be good believers, to be good people, and to follow what God wanted for them. So gave them Moses, gave the law to the people. It was all good and perfect. Great. However, over the years, the Jewish religious leaders at the time started adding little rules, little laws to this list. And it got really long, and the laws got really weird and ridiculous. And people started saying, this religion feels way too confining. So it feels like tight shoes where you're scrunched. And it feels really burdensome, like a really heavy backpack. I just don't like it. So Jesus, he comes onto the scene. And just like Emma read for us today, he says, come to me, all of you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, which is a lot of people at the time. He says, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. First question, what is a yoke? It's not just the little yellow part of an egg. A yoke, according to this book, is a bar of wood that attaches to farm animals so they can carry their load. So if you're picturing, let's picture some cows, and they're two in a line, and there's a bar of wood that connects them to the cart that they're carrying. So it's not just attached to one cow, but it's evenly distributed against the two cows, or across the two. And what's even cooler is this book says that Jesus was a carpenter, so that's someone who works with wood, and he would have known that each yoke, so each bar of wood, was adjusted to each animal that it was put on. So they wouldn't take a giant yoke that goes on the biggest bull you have and put it on a little baby cow. They would make a custom one because they knew the load that each could carry. What does this mean for us? Jesus says, take my yoke upon you, his yoke upon us. He knows exactly how much we can handle. He knows what's going to be heavy for us and what's going to be the perfect load. So he makes it for us. He says, I don't want you to feel heavy. I don't want you to feel confined. I want you to be in relationship with me. And that, he says, will give us rest. So cool. But it's kind of hard to understand still. So I want you to keep thinking of this idea of tight shoes, confining, and heavy backpacks, burdensome. And I want you to think about your own faith with Jesus. Do you feel like your faith is confining? So it's making you not be able to do a lot of things in your life? Or do you feel like it's heavy, like you think about it all the time and you feel bad and you feel guilty and you don't really like it? Or do you feel like it's freeing, like you can do a lot of things because of your faith? So I want you to just think about where you're at on that, and then keep thinking about what we talked about today, how God knows exactly how much we can handle, and He doesn't want us to feel heavy. He wants us to be with Him. That is all I have for you guys today. Keep thinking about that question. We are going to end this devotion with a lovely invitation from Emma.
All right, so today is National Eat Your Veggies Day, and I know not vegetables are not everybody's favorite thing, but it is so important that we do eat them because they're packed full of lots of nutrients and vitamins that we need to stay healthy. So today I invite you guys to eat your vegetables, even if that means getting creative and putting them in something like a smoothie, or you can bake them into a bread like zucchini bread. You can even dip them in ranch if you think that makes them taste better. I know I love ranch. But yeah, I will link a website below with more creative ways to eat your vegetables, and we hope you enjoy. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.